Yo, that is heavy. Hey guys, it's me, bupssaggu. Oi, welcome to this episode and welcome to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, give yourselves a thumbs up. If you're not, make sure you subscribe by the end of this video. Before we get into this episode, I gotta give a massive big up to everyone that showed crazy love for the upcoming track Santali featuring Nave Suave Manual, written by Singer, a track that I produced in 24 hours. You guys showed a lot of love for the episode and I can't wait to drop that banger. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to turn something folk into funky. No pun intended, even though I'm a fan of Jazzy B. Without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. Some of you may have heard of the folk artist Hazara Singh Ramta. In my opinion, and I believe quoted by Bhamrah also from the Asian Network, he was possibly the first Punjabi rapper. So rap is, in layman terms, telling a story in rhyme, which is kind of what Hazara Singh Ramta did. So if that defines what rap is, then he was possibly the first rapper in Punjabi music. So we're going to work with one of his most famous tracks today, Ramta Afrika Vich.
ਲਓ ਜੀ ਨਜ਼ਮ ਸੁਣੋ ਰਮਤਾ ਅਫਰੀਕਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵੇਖਣ ਟੁਰ ਪਿਆ ਕਰ ਹੀਲਾ ਚਾਰਾ ਪਹਿਲੋਂ ਵੈਸਟ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ ਵੇਖਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਯੂਰਪ ਸਾਰਾ ਤੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਫਿਰ ਬੱਲੇ ਬੱਲੇ ਜਦ ਰਮਤੇ ਹੋਰੀ ਵੇਖਣ ਫਿਰ ਅਫਰੀਕਾ.
So you kind of get the idea, Ramta telling a story in rhyme, rap. As this is a dance track, I decided to set the tempo to 124 BPM. Then I took some samples from the original track and made a series of loops. I decided to have one consistent loop throughout the track. Loop number 1. Add a channel EQ, bring out some of the top end to hear that jimta. Added one of my favorite plugins, Sausage Fattener, to add depth. And finally eliminated some unwanted frequencies. I then used the same sample over the chorus part, but notched out majority of the bottom end and the top end. I decided not to add any chords to the track. I wanted it to be quite raw and true to its core, so I moved on to creating my drum kit. The first thing I added was my kick. Following the kick, I added some claps. On top of the clap, I added a snare. I added an additional clap which plays at the end of our loop. And underneath the additional clap, I played an additional snare. I used this top loop. The drop with my Ramta loop. That's got an awesome groove, hasn't it? Quite funky. Now for my bass line. For the chorus drop, I played 3 bass lines. First, played my sub using the Deep Clean preset in Sublab. Following the sub, I played my main bass line using the 17's classic synth bass in Alchemy. The final thing I added to my bass section was a wobble using Massive. I wanted to create that Mr. Wazzo sound. Wah 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 wah. Our bass sequences together. The final element I added in the drop was a sax. All together on our drop with the sax. Now for the effects. Throughout this track I've used a series of crashes, impacts, build-ups, vocal effects, sweeps, uplifts and risers. final few elements I added at this stage that kind of played throughout the track were these gidda kuka, this tad sample, some desi claps. Yo, that is heavy. That was pretty much at this stage. I didn't want to add any more elements to the track. Less is more. I bounced this segment down and fired it over to my good friends Attri and Stylish Singh. I asked them to write something and sing something in the style of Ramta. 1 week later, I received this bad boy tune. But before I play it, there's something very, very important I must do. We're calling Dips. Hello, Dipsy. Everybody dips Bhamrah on the BBC Asian Network, the Wikipedia captain of Bhangra.
Don't know about that. All I can see is a reflection of my lockdown here, mate.
It's a Cabbage Patch Kids. You're on my tutorial, by the way. Now, I have a question for you. Hazara Singh Ramta. You remember Ramta? Yeah. Hazara Singh Ramta, in my opinion, was the first Punjabi rapper in Punjabi music. I remember you put out a quote. Ramta was possibly Punjabi music's first ever rapper. Am I right or am I wrong? Or am I dreaming?
I believe that, in my opinion, yes, he was the first Punjabi rapper. It's just that he didn't know it and the world didn't know it. If you talk about what is rap music is kind of spoken word, rhyme, rhythm kind of thing, yeah? Ramta was doing that in the 50s and 60s. So if you take the same logic of whatever people see as rap music today, or from the 90s or from the 80s, my man was doing it in the 60s with, you know, Ramta Mima with Ramta Afrika with, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just take the tabla torki out and put a breakbeat behind it. That's rap.
That's what it was. It just didn't have a label. So there you go. Dips Bhamrah, the captain of Bhangra, I call him the Wikipedia of Bhangra, just clarified that my theory and his theory is correct, that Hazara Singh Ramta was possibly the first rapper in Punjabi history. Anything you want to say to my channel?
Just copy what Bubs does and you'll be able to produce.
Thank you very much, Dips. Back to our video. Right. So there you go, you heard it from the captain of Bhangra himself. Now back to our track. I spent a couple of hours on the track arranging it, making it clever in a few parts, and of course adding a twist at the end, which is a bupssaggu trademark. I can proudly say we have a 2020 folk and funky banger. Here's a little snippet. Let me know what you think. रंग होवे जिदा गोल्डन ते होवे लक स्लिम करदी होवे नखरे ते जांदी होवे जिम होवे कि जी दे रूप नु दिल ना होवे रजदा Here comes the drop. ओ मुंडा कवारा कैंट जा कोई कैंट में ही लबदा मुंडा कवारा कैंट जा कोई कैंट में ही लबदा And last but not least, the bupssaggu flip. मुंडा कवारा कैंट जा कोई कैंट में ही लबदा So there you have it. This is how I produce a folk to funky banger. Gand Mem, featuring Stylish Singh, written by Chetan Attri. Let me know what you thought of the track in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, remember to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to stay notified every time I upload a new video. From myself, bupssaggu, oi, stay safe, stay alert. Until next time, peace. मुंडा कवारा कैंट जा कोई कैंट में ही लबदा मुंडा कवारा कैंट जा कोई कैंट में ही लबदा